students, my name is Niyati Seth and thanks for watching Edupedia Word videos. My topic for the presentation is the fifth section of the chapter Chemical Control and Coordination. In this section of presentation, we'll be studying about the thyroid gland, which is the third endocrine gland of human body. So thyroid gland. In humans, thyroid gland they develop from embryonic ectoderm as an outgrowth from the floor of pharynx. When I say embryonic germ layers are of three types. First is ectoderm, second is mesoderm, and third is endoderm. So, thyroid gland is derived from the third embryonic germ layer, and that is endoderm. Okay, so you can say that in humans, thyroid gland develop from embryonic endoderm as an outgrowth from the floor of pharynx. The thyroid gland is situated in the anterior region of the neck, okay, at the base of the larynx. Thyroid, what does thyroid do? Thyroid regulates your metabolism. There are two main thyroid hormones such as T3 and T4. Okay? Thyroid disorders are common and they include goiter, hyperthyroidism and hypothyroidism. Okay? Excessive secretion of thyroid is known as hyperthyroidism, whereas decreased secretion results into hypothyroidism. Okay, so the thyroid's main role in the endocrine system is to regulate your metabolism, which is your body's ability to break down food and convert it into energy. When I say metabolism, then that means anabolism plus catabolism. And what does anabolism means? Formation, whereas catabolism means breaking down of the food item. Okay, so this thyroid, its main role in the endocrine system is to regulate your body's metabolism, which is your body's ability to break down food and convert it into energy. Okay, food is broken down into small pieces and then gets converted into energy, through which we move, through which we locomote, through which we talk. Okay, so food essentially fuels our body, and our bodies each burn that fuel at different rate. That means every individual has different rates of burning that fuel. And what is fuel? Fuel is food for humans. Okay, so you can say that thyroid, its main role is to regulate your metabolism, which is your body's ability to break down food and convert it into energy. Now, what are the hormones of the thyroid? As I said, that there are two main hormones that thyroid produces and releases. And what is that? T3, okay, and T4. T3 full form is triiodothyronine and T4 is thyroxine. Okay, now when I say thyroxine, then please understand that I'm talking about T4 hormone, which is produced by thyroid. And when I say triiodothyronine, that means please understand that I'm talking about the T3, which is the hormone of thyroid. Okay, so a thyroid that is functioning normally produces approximately 80% T4 and about 20% T3, though T3 is stronger of the pair. Okay, you can say that your thyroid gland is functioning properly in your body, then it produces approximately 80% of the T4. And what is that T4? Thyroxine. And about 20% of your T3, which is triiodothyronine. Though T3 is stronger of the pair, although it is produced only 20%, but it is stronger as compared to T4, that is thyroxine. Okay, to a lesser extent, the thyroid also produces calcitonin, okay, which help control your blood calcium level. Okay, thyrocalcitonin. And you can say that this thyrocalcitonin is a hormone, and it is polypeptide in nature. That means it is made up of many peptide chains. Okay, and it decreases the calcium ion concentration in blood by inhibiting bone resorption, okay, in which migration of calcium from bone to blood takes place. Okay, and this thyrocalcitonin, it also stimulates osteoblast cells of bone to take up calcium from blood and store it in bone. Okay, and if you ask, then what is the function of T4 and T3, then I'm giving you just an overview that your function of thyroxine, if we see, then it helps in general metabolism, protein metabolism, because it controls production of protein. Body weight, thyroxine controls body weight of human being. Thyroxine, it also controls heartbeat, cardiac output, and blood pressure. Okay, and maintenance of water and electrolyte balance is also influenced by thyroid hormone. Okay, see, thyroid gland, it is located in the middle anterior part of the neck, below larynx. This is your larynx. Okay, this is your voice box, and it is located just below the larynx, in front of the trachea. Okay, and it is butterfly shape, as you can see that it is butterfly in shape, butterfly or H shape also you can say, and it is 5 centimeter in length, and it has two lobules, right thyroid gland and left thyroid gland. Okay, and it is 3 centimeter in width, and it weighs around 25 gram to 30 grams, and it is the largest endocrine gland of human body. Please note that. And it is brown in color, as you can see that it is brown in color, and it consists of two lobes which on either side of the trachea. See, this is your trachea, and these are the two lobules of the thyroid gland, right and the left. Okay, and it consists of two lobules which lie one on either side of the trachea. The lobes are joined together by a thin connective tissue which we call it as isthmus, which is at the second to fourth tracheal cartilage. Okay, see, these are compartments of the trachea, you can say. So second compartment and the fourth compartment cartilage of the trachea, it is joined together by a thin connective tissue which we call it as isthmus. So this is your isthmus, okay, through which two lobules of the thyroid gland are connected. Okay, now thyroid has a rich network of blood capillaries. Thyroid shows variation in size and structure with age, sex, temperature, nutrition, and iodine content of blood. Okay, and thyroid gland increases in size at the time of puberty and pregnancy. Okay, and it has a rich blood supply, as I said, that it is able to deliver high level of hormones in short period of time, and it produces thyroxine, which is T4, and triiodothyronine, which is T3, and it also produces calcitonin, which is involved in calcium and the phosphate homeostasis. Okay, that maintains a suitable control of calcium ion concentration in blood by inhibiting blood resorption. Okay, and calcitonin, what does it do? It also stimulates osteoblast cells of bone to take up more and more calcium from blood and store it in bones. Okay, now the thyroid hormones, they regulate vital body functions, and which are those? It includes heart rate, it includes central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. It also includes your body weight, because thyroxine, it controls the body weight, and thyroxine is a hormone of thyroid. Okay, and its increased production leads to weight loss, and decreased production leads to obesity, that is increase in body weight. Okay, and muscle strength, when I say muscle strength, then that means it also, you can say, it also influences strength of the muscles. And the menstrual cycle in females is also regulated by your thyroid gland, and maintaining of the homeostasis, maintaining of the body temperature in humans is also regulated by your thyroid hormones. Cholesterol level is also influenced by your thyroid hormone. So these are the vital body functions which are regulated or which are influenced by thyroid hormone. How the thyroid gland works? The thyroid is a part of endocrine system which is made up of glands that produce, that store, and that release hormones into the bloodstream, so the hormones can reach the body cells. And the thyroid gland, it uses iodine from food we eat to make two main hormones, and which is that triiodothyronine, that is T3, and thyroxine, which is T4. Okay, it is important that T3 and T4, that is triiodothyronine and thyroxine, T3 and T4 respectively, are neither too high nor too low, because its excessive secretion can also cause you a disease, and its decreased secretion can also cause you a disease. So its level should not be too high, not too low. Two glands in the brain, the hypothalamus and the pituitary, communicate to maintain T3 and T4 balance. As we have already studied hypothalamus and pituitary glands, so they are also endocrine glands. They communicate with each other to maintain the thyroid hormones balance. And what are thyroid hormones? T3 and T4. Okay, now the hypothalamus, it produces TSH. What is that? TSH is thyroid stimulating hormone. T for thyroid, S for stimulating, and H is for hormone. So thyroid stimulating hormone is produced by hypothalamus, that signals the pituitary. That means it is produced by hypothalamus, but it signals or orders the pituitary gland to tell the thyroid gland to produce more or less of T3 and T4 by either increasing or decreasing the release of the hormone called TSH. Okay, as you can see, this is hypothalamus and this is pituitary. Pituitary is located next to it, next to the hypothalamus. Okay, so hypothalamus, it releases TRH. What is that? Thyroid releasing hormone. Okay, so it produces TSH. Okay, and TSH is your thyroid stimulating hormone, and it is being asked by your pituitary gland to give order to your thyroid gland, which is located near your neck, to produce or to increase or decrease the release of hormone of TSH. Okay, when T3 and T4 levels are low in blood, the pituitary gland releases more TSH to tell the thyroid gland to produce more thyroid hormones. And when T3 and T4 level are high, then the pituitary gland releases less TSH. Okay, that means if T3 and T4 level in your blood is high, then pituitary gland, it releases less TSH because it will stimulate your thyroid gland for the production of T3 and T4. So it will automatically release less TSH, that is thyroid stimulating hormone, to the thyroid gland to slow down the production of these two hormones, T3 and T4. Okay. Now the thyroid gland is composed of two lobes which are located on the either side of the trachea, which I have already taught you, and both the lobes, they are interconnected by a thin flap of connective tissue which we call it as isthmus, as I have shown you in the diagram, but I am giving you again the overview. Okay, thyroid gland is composed of follicles and stromal tissues. Each thyroid follicle is composed of follicular cells enclosing a cavity, but we won't be going into detail of it, okay, as if now. And these follicular cells, they synthesize two hormones, that is tetraiodothyronin, which we call it as T4, and tetraiodothyronin, that we call it as T3. Don't get confused with the tetraiodothyronin and thyroxine. They both are same, and they tell us that, or you can say that its another name is T4. Okay, so iodine is essential for the normal rate of hormone synthesis in the thyroid gland. Now, deficiency of iodine in our diet could result in hypothyroidism. Okay, as I said that deficiency of iodine in our diet results in hypothyroidism kind of disease. An enlargement of the thyroid gland takes place, which we call it as goiter. I'll be showing you the picture of goiter, a person suffering from the goiter with the enlarged thyroid gland. Okay, hypothyroidism means your deficiency of iodine in your diet. So when hypothyroidism takes place during pregnancy, then it can cause defective development and maturation of growing baby, leading to stunted growth, and that stunted growth is known as cretinism, okay, or the dwarfness. Okay, it could also lead to mental retardation. It could also lead to low intelligence quotient, that means low IQ level of the child, and abnormal skin, deaf, mutism, etc. So just imagine that deficiency of iodine during pregnancy can cause all this thing to your baby. Okay, and in adult women, hypothyroidism may cause menstrual cycle to become irregular. As I said, that menstrual cycle is also influenced by your thyroid hormones. So in adult women, hypothyroidism may cause menstrual cycle to become irregular. When deficiency of iodine is there in the diet of women, then hypothyroidism occurs, and that hypothyroidism has a negative feedback or on the menstrual cycle of that lady, and thus the menstrual cycle becomes irregular. Due to cancer of the thyroid gland or due to the development of the nodules of the thyroid gland, the rate of synthesis and secretion of thyroid hormone is increased to abnormal high levels, and that lead to a condition which we call it as hyperthyroidism, and which adversely affects the body physiology. Okay, so hyperthyroidism means increased rate of synthesis and secretion of thyroid gland at a very abnormal high level. Okay, and that adversely affects the body physiology. So we have studied hypothyroidism, in which the decreased rate of synthesis of thyroid hormones take place, or it occurs due to the deficiency of iodine in our diet. And second, we studied hyperthyroidism, which is due to the secretion of the thyroid hormone at abnormally high rate. Okay, so I hope these two conditions are clear to all of you. Now we'll see thyroid hormones. As I said, that they play an important role in the regulation of basal metabolic rate. Okay, and these hormones, they support the process of RBC formation. What they do, they support the process of RBC formation. And what is that? RBC is red blood cells. Okay, and thyroid hormones, they control the metabolism of carbohydrate, protein and fat also, and maintenance of water, electrolyte balance, it is also influenced by your thyroid hormones. And thyroid gland, they also secrete a protein hormone which we call it as TCT, and that is thyrocalcitonin, which regulates the blood calcium level. Okay, and how does it do? It decreases the calcium ion concentration in blood by inhibiting bone resorption, and it also stimulates osteoblast cells of bone to take up calcium from blood and store it in bone. Okay, now we'll study about the common thyroid disorders. First is your goiter. What does happen in the goiter? See, goiter is a bulge in the neck, and it is caused due to the hypothyroidism. That means when iodine deficiency is there in the diet of a human, then this kind of disorder takes place, and this is the goiter, in which bulge takes place in the neck. A toxic goiter is associated with hyperthyroidism, and a non-toxic is known as simple or endemic goiter. So this one is your hyperthyroidism, because it is a toxic goiter and it is associated with hyperthyroidism, whereas non-toxic goiter is also known as simple or endemic goiter, and it is caused by iodine deficiency. Okay, but bulging of the neck will take place on both the cases, hyperthyroidism case also, and your hypothyroidism case also. Okay, now comes hyperthyroidism. Hyperthyroidism is caused by too much thyroid hormone. Okay, that means when there is an increased secretion of thyroid hormone takes place in the human body, then hyperthyroidism occurs. People with hyperthyroidism are often sensitive to heat, and they are more hyperactive. They react to the stimulus very strongly, and they eat excessively. Okay, so these are the symptoms of the hyperthyroidism, and goiter is sometimes a side effect of hyperthyroidism. Okay, and see, these are the symptoms of the hyperthyroidism, that muscle wasting, weight loss, breast enlargement, your systolic blood pressure increases, tachycardia takes place, your thyroid becomes enlarged, diarrhea starts. Okay, and tremors and grit starts. Okay, so these are the symptoms of the hyperthyroidism. This is due to an overstimulated thyroid and inflamed tissues respectively. Okay, now second is the third is third disorder of thyroid hormone is thyroiditis. Thyroiditis is an inflammation. See, Itis. Itis means inflammation. Okay, so thyroiditis is an inflammation of the thyroid that may be associated with abnormal thyroid function, and particularly hyperthyroidism we call it. Inflammation can cause the thyroid cells to die, and they make the thyroid unable to produce enough hormones to maintain the body normal metabolism. Okay, now comes hypothyroidism. Hypothyroidism is a common condition which is characterized by too little thyroid hormone. In fans, the condition is known as cretinism. Okay, that means stunted growth. Cretinism has a very serious side effect that includes abnormal bone formation and mental retardation. These are the symptoms of hypothyroidism, that is receding hairline, facial and the eyelid edema. Edema means swelling, okay? Low speech, thick tongue. Because of the thick tongue, the child is unable to speak in a proper way. Okay, so these are the symptoms such as hair loss, apathy, lethargy. That means the human starts to feel very lethargic, okay, and dry skin, muscle ache and weakness and constipation. Okay, now this comes to an end. In my next section of the presentation, I'll be teaching you about the histology of the thyroid gland. Okay, so till then, stay tuned and keep watching Wikipedia word videos.